All right, we will kill this clock here in a second, but we just want to say thank you for joining us. We do have our Booster Club president here, Liz Dahl, with some short Booster Club business to take care of, and then I will explain the whole summer thing that you guys have all come here to hear about. Okay, Liz, thank you so much.
Thank you. So first I want to say thank you to everyone for logging in and watching us tonight. I know it's been kind of crazy these past couple months. So first we want to take roll of who's here. So I'm Liz Dahl, I'm the Booster President, and we have Rob Singleton, who is present, and he is our Vice President. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Then we have Troy Kingsford, who is our Treasurer, and he's also present.
Hello.
So right now we're kind of gathering right before the coaches meeting
Sure, yeah.
to do a specially convened general meeting where we would like to nominate Tanya Burdick. Come on up. She has been nominated as to be our new secretary for the Booster Club. So is there anyone else that would like to be nominated, or there's one?
Just wait.
I was like, there's one.
Tell them if they have a nomination, type it in here.
If you have a nomination besides Tanya, who's amazing, go ahead and type it in, and we'll wait a minute.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna get my slideshow set up. Keep going.
Anyone? Okay, so I'm going to just tell you a little bit about Tanya. I love her dearly. I have gotten to know her in the past 4 years, and she has worked really, really hard for our Booster Club. So she has helped out for 3 years, and for 2 of those years she was Vice President while her son Noah went through the program, and he graduated in 2019. And last year, when nobody played football, she ran our live stream for us. So that was a huge undertaking for her, and we're so appreciative of that. And she has a son coming in as a freshman to join the Hawk family, and we're excited to have her back as a team, being part of the team again. So if you agree and want to vote for Tanya, we need to vote her in. So if you want to just hit your thumbs up, I think it's on the left-hand side. Can you see your thumbs up at all?
It's on the bottom right.
On the bottom right. So hit your thumbs up to vote Tanya in, since this is our electronical way of doing so. Okay, so we're gonna move on. So I'm gonna say thank you, Tanya. And we're so excited to have her be part of the Booster. Over to you, Coach.
All right, awesome. If you want to continue to vote, please do so. Liz, can you continue to hit spacebar? Okay, so now what we're all here for. We have been given the opportunity to start our summer training program, but it has to be done in a very specific way. And before we start, I do want to say thank you to the Gilbert Public School District, and especially our District AD, Steve McDowell, for really pushing to have Gilbert kind of be the leader in doing this. So they've made decisions based on data and not out of fear, and I really appreciate that. And I just know that I had a meeting today with Steve McDowell, and he was really all for your sons, and he really felt like the best thing for our athletes is to be with the coaches and get their bodies back to playing condition, and that the best thing for their health really is to be with their friends and with coaches and not sitting at home. So, but anyway, I just want to say thank you to both the Gilbert Public Schools District and our District AD, as well as our own Hawks AD, Brandon Larson. Before I start, if anybody has any questions, just a reminder that you can type them in the comments section below, and we will address them at the end. So please feel free to type in whatever questions you have. Okay, so we have been approved starting June 1st, which is Monday, that we can begin what we call level 1 of our reintroduction to play protocol. So level 1 consists of this. We can have up to 30 athletes or less per field or per room, like the weight room type of thing. But they have to be 6 feet apart, all right? And there's no sharing of equipment. So that means no throwing and catching footballs. We can't share weight room equipment. We can't push sleds, because you can't have one kid touch a sled and then move and then another kid touch the sled. So this is focusing specifically on, let's say, general athletic conditioning and training. So what we will be doing is weight room, which practicing social distancing, and I'll show you that here in a second. We will be doing an agility station on the practice field where the kids will be far enough apart for us to be considered safe. And then they will also be doing a speed training session. Okay, so I'll explain that a little more later. Because there's no sharing of equipment, that also means that we will not be providing a giant water station. So your son needs to bring their own water. I would suggest something that holds roughly a gallon of water, whether it's one of those big water bottles or literally a gallon of water. But they have to bring their own water. We will not be providing a giant water station. So when they show up to workouts, they need to have their shoes. They need to have whatever clothes they're going to wear for the workouts, i.e. their hawk shorts and shirt. So they need to have shoes for both the weight room and cleats for the field, okay? And water. So they need to show up with all that. There will not be access to the locker rooms, and I would anticipate no access to the locker rooms until we hand out helmets. If a kid needs to go potty, I can maybe open a potty by the track. I have little kids, so we call it potty. But there will be no access to the locker room. They're going to bring their stuff, and they're going to go home with the stuff that they came with, and then you can wash their stuff at home, and please do. That would be greatly appreciated. Okay, and we are going to be in level 1 for at least 14 days, meaning at least June 1st through the 14th. It's possible that we could be in it for longer, but we are at least going to be in it for 14 days. Now, we're not going to do 14 workouts. We're going to work out Monday through Thursday. So that'll be the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and then the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. But we will be in level 1 for at least the first 2 weeks of June. And if we get then clearance to move into level 2, we will. Okay? We'll move on. Before your son starts, though, you must have a return to play waiver. I put an electronic version on both Google Classroom and in Huddle, and I will also, I believe a link was emailed to you by Brandon Larson, and we'll also put one on the website. So you can do it electronically, or there's a link that if you want to print it out and bring it paper copy, that's also okay. However, your son will not be able to participate until he has this thing, this waiver signed either electronically or on paper. Okay? All right, next slide. So here's how we're going to do level 1. So starting Monday, and I already met with your sons today via WebEx, so they should know. But in case they don't, I'm also going to post their group on Huddle and on Google Classroom. But here's how it's going to work. We're going to break up the varsity and JV into different groups. There's 7 groups in total. There's 4 varsity groups and 3 JV groups. I've broken them up by their primary position that they play on the field. So for example, starting Monday, varsity group 1 is the offensive linemen, the tight ends, and the running backs. Varsity group 2 is the quarterbacks and the wide receivers. Varsity group 3 is the D linemen and the linebackers. Varsity group 4 is the defensive backs, so safeties and corners, and the specialists, punters, kickers, long snappers. JV group 1 is O-line, quarterbacks, running backs, and tight ends. JV group 2 is wide receivers, specialists, and linebackers. JV group 3 is the D linemen and DBs. The reason why I broke them up by these positions, 1, I did the math, and they roughly have 30 players per group or less. Also, I grouped them by positions that they would be most closest to in the weight room in terms of strength, ability, and things like that. Okay? So that's why they're grouped that way. All right. Now, once they figure out what group they are in, this is what time they are assigned to show up in the weight room. So each group is going to start in the weight room. Once they're done with the weight room, they're going to then move to the practice field and do their agility circuit with our coaches. Once they're done with their agility circuit, they will move to the speed training with our speed coaches. Once they're done with the speed portion, they are done and they need to leave and not hang out in the parking lot. Okay? And I will be out there to make sure that they leave and we're not congregating and having parties. All right, moving on. So here's how it works. Varsity group 1 is going to show up at 4:30 in the weight room. When they come in, I'm going to make sure that they brought their water, they brought their shoes and stuff. I'm going to ask them if their temperature was less than 100 degrees, so make sure you check their temperature at home. Or I'm also going to ask them if they at all feel sick, because if they feel sick at all, you need to keep them home. And if they look sick, I'm going to send them home, just so you know. Okay? It's not worth it. Okay, so varsity group lunch shows up at 4:30. They're going to answer those questions. The Gilbert School District has provided cleaning supplies for us, so I should say disinfecting supplies for us. Each kid will wipe down the equipment they're going to use. They'll do a workout. They'll roughly take about 25 minutes. Then they'll wipe down the equipment again and then leave. Varsity 1 will then move to the field for agilities. Varsity 2 will come into the weight room and do the same thing. Once varsity done with the agilities, they'll move to the speed. Varsity 2, once they're done with weight room, they'll move to the agilities. Varsity 3 will come in, and then so on and so forth. Okay? And again, I'll post these times on both Huddle and Google Classroom. And we'll probably put a link in the a document link on the website, hawksbooster.com. Okay, so here are the times that the groups need to show up. Now, this is for level 1, so this is going to continue for at least the first 2 weeks, if not more. Okay, but at least through June 14th. Okay, so let's say, yay, we're done with level 1. When we get into level 2, for those of you that are NFL fans, think OTAs, which is organized team activities. That's what that stands for. But think like NFL OTAs. So that means we're allowed to like throw and catch a football. Isn't that great? That's awesome. Okay, so once we get into level 2, we can now have up to 50 athletes or less. Okay, and we can share equipment. So that means we can have spotters in the weight room. And we said side spotters, so nobody's gonna be like grabbing your son, but we'll have guys on the side spotting the actual bar. We'll be able to throw and catch footballs. We'll be able to push the sled, all that stuff.
We have a question. How long will it take a group to go through all 3 stations?
So the weight room will probably take 30 minutes. The agilities, I think, will take somewhere between 20 and 25, and then the speed could be 10 to 15, depending on how long we go. The reason why I say that is because week 1, there will probably be less speed training because we know that your bodies aren't in shape yet, so we'll do less running, so they should be done fairly quickly. And then as we progress, we'll add a little bit more reps into the speed training. But the deal is, as soon as they're done with the agilities, they can rotate to the speed, and if the speed portion is not done with the first group, they get a break, if that makes any sense to you guys. Once they're done with the speed portion, they can go. So I think it's going to take about an hour and 15 to an hour and a half to get it all done. It'll be way less than 2 hours to get completely everything done. Okay, great question. Where were we? Okay, we still have some social distancing stuff in effect, so we'll still have to run drills so that we're spaced apart and all that stuff. There's no contact drills, so we can't do like one-on-ones. We can't do 7-on-7 or anything like that. But we will do like routes on air, walk through our blitz. We'll do like actual football stuff and individual drills and stuff like that. Okay? Again, make sure you bring your own water, and everything you bring you will take home with you. There will be no locker rooms available. And then I wanted to answer this question before it's asked. Starting June 1 until we are instructed otherwise, the coaches will be wearing masks. Thank you to Jeff Boone, who made enough masks for all of our coaching staff. Appreciate it. The players are not required to, but if you would like to, you are more than welcome. So there you go. If your son would like to wear a mask while he's in the weight room, go for it. But all of the coaches will be. All right.
Is that level 1 and level 2?
It is until the district tells us otherwise. So it might be until football season. To be honest, I don't know. We're going to wear them until the district says you don't have to wear them anymore. So it could be all of them. Could be, I don't know, we could be in August and still wear masks. I don't know. But the coaches, basically, if you're a Gilbert Public Schools employee and you're working with the public, we're going to wear masks. So that's not just coaches, that's teachers and librarians and principals, all that. So everybody. So we're going to wear masks until they tell us we don't have to. All right. So once we get into level 2, we're able to have larger groups now. So we only need 2 groups for varsity 1, varsity 2, and then JV 1 and JV 2. When we get to this, I'll repost everything so you don't have to memorize it. Just know that we can have less groups. Okay, and that's what they're going to be when we get to this point. All right, next.
I'll send all this in the email.
Yep. When we get to level 2, we don't have to have as many groups, so we'll change it up a little bit. Basically, the difference is this. Varsity 2 will come into the weight room, and then varsity 2 and JV 2 will go to the field together, and we'll do all of our individual drills. And by field, I mean fields, plural. because we have 3 practice fields, so we'll make sure that everybody's far enough apart and we won't have more than 50 kids within proximity to each other. Yes.
Do temperatures still need to be taken prior to practice in level 2?
I believe so, because it's still social distancing. I'm just gonna say if your kid feels sick, keep them home until we get to regular life again. Okay, so yeah, take his temperature. If you suspect that he's feeling sick or looks sick, like, it's not worth it. Just keep him home. It's okay.
Brandon
All right.
just said yes.
There you go. Brandon said yes. So there you go. While Varsity 2 and JV2 are on the fields, Varsity 1 will come into the weight room. Then Varsity 1 and JV1 will go to the fields. JV2 will go to the weight room after they're done with the field. And then JV1 will end in the weight room after they go to the field. Okay, so it all works. I'll repost this later when we get to level 2. It'll all make sense. But again, think OTAs. So like routes on air, individual drill, more football specific related type stuff, but no competition, no human to human contact. Okay, next one. Okay, I think we missed one. I'm gonna go up one. Oh shoot. Okay, go up one. All right.
We're going back.
Here we go, right here. So here's the other thing I'm gonna say is once we get to level 3, okay, so it's not up here, but level 3, hopefully we are in level 3 by the time we get to NAU. If we are able to get to level 3 roughly after July, I'm hoping it's after July 4th. I'm hoping that we will be in level 3 and that we'll be able to do basically what we call a mini camp. So think NFL mini camp. And we'll be allowed to do controlled scrimmages. That's what level 3 said we were allowed to do. So think 7-on-7, basically think spring football. So those cool helmets those cool 7-on-7 helmets that you guys bought and then we didn't get to use, we might get to use them hopefully. July 11th, right now, NAU is holding their 7-on-7 and we're planning on going, provided that we have been able to reach level 3 and we haven't spiked again or something like that. Okay? And also, the expected varsity and JV camp date is July 12th through the 15th. As of right now, Cal Lutheran has said that because they're in Ventura County, and Ventura County doesn't have the same restrictions as like LA County, that they are planning on hosting us. So as of right now, we are planning on going the 12th through the 15th, and we're still planning on going to California. If things change, we will update that, and we'll let you know. Okay? If you haven't paid for camp, it is $500. Make checks payable to the Highland Hawks Touchdown Booster Club, or you can Venmo HHS Football. There should be a space. HHS Football, or you can use the Built Foundation. Remember, the Built Foundation, to get the $500, you actually have to donate $675, and you get the full $675 back, right? But remember, Highland gets 75%, and then the other 25% goes to help other kids from other schools who qualify for like Title I, so that they can go to camp as well. So your donation goes to a lot of great things. We have a question.
Are incoming freshmen included?
We're doing next. All right, next slide. Great question. All right, here we go. Incoming freshmen. Great question. All right, so the expected start date for the incoming freshman summer training is June 8th. Okay, we're waiting on one last approval. I should know early next week. But as of right now, expect to start June 8th, and you will go from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. You will mirror the same levels as the JV and the varsity. So when you show up at 6 a.m., we'll split you into groups of 30 or less. We'll tell you where to go, whether it's weight room, agility, speed, etc. And we'll do basically the same thing, but we're going to do it from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Okay, and basically you guys will kind of like switch, or you'll rotate, and then you'll all leave. Again, make sure you pick up your son at 8 so we're not all hanging out at the school. Be great. You will also have to bring your own water, and there will be no access to locker rooms. All the same thing. So the summer training, it costs $300, and remember, well, you guys are new, so don't remember, but basically think of it as $300 for the next 4 years, because we charge you in the summer as freshmen, and then we don't as sophomores, juniors, and seniors. So think of it as a $300 investment for 4 years of football training. Okay, you can pay cash or write a check. This one goes to No Huddle Football Academy, or you can Venmo at Brock-Farrell, or you can also use the Built Foundation. I will show you how to use the Built Foundation to pay for both summer training and freshman summer camp. Okay, next slide. Freshman summer camp is scheduled for July 19th through the 22nd up in Sholo. That is also $300. Again, cash, check, payable, No Huddle Football Academy, Venmo, or you can use Built Foundation. On our website at hawksbooster.com, there is a link to the Built Foundation. So for all you new incoming freshmen moms and dads, here's how Built Foundation works. It's what's called a qualified charitable organization, and it is a tax credit. And if you donate to the Built Foundation sends back to Highland 75% of your donation to pay for our camp. Okay? The other 25% is used to help other kids at other schools that may not be able to afford camp, also get them to camp. Okay? Now, you can pay for both the summer training and the freshman camp, which would equal $600, if you make the total full $800 donation to the Built Foundation. So there's a link on the website, you go to it, find the drop-down menu, put Highland High School, type in your kid's name, donate $800 to Built Foundation with under your kid's name. The $600 will come to pay for both the summer training and the camp up in Sholo. The other $200 will go to help somebody else, and you will be able to write off the full $800 as a tax credit for the state of Arizona. Hopefully that was concise and clear. If you have questions, you can find my email and you can email me and I'll try to help you out. Okay?
I've had parents email asking if they want to confirm that they got it. Do they email you or do they ask Built?
Go ahead and email me, because as soon as a donation is made through the Built Foundation, I get an email that says you have a donation from so-and-so. Yes.
If the freshmen are able to start on the 8th, how long will the training last?
So again, we'll mirror the phases, but essentially, as long as we're in phase 1, we'll do the phase 1 training. Hopefully, again, it's somewhere between 7 to 14 days. We'll have to see. And then phase 2 will go basically until camp, and we may give you a week off during the week of 4th of July.
Physicals.
Okay, good question. I got an email today from Mr. Larson. If you had a physical from Highland Junior High and or you had a physical last year through Register My Athlete, there should be a waiver coming that basically says you're good to go for this next year, so your physical counts for last year and this year. If you are basically new to Register My Athlete, meaning at your previous school you didn't have Register My Athlete, or you're an incoming freshman that didn't go to Highland Junior High or something like that, then you'll have to get a physical. If you don't know, text or call or talk to me, and I'll probably refer you to our athletic director, Brandon Larson, and there's a couple forms you'll have to fill out. We'll go from there.
How much of this is mandatory?
Okay, great question. So here's what I'm going to say. If you plan a vacation, please go. Right? If you plan a vacation in June, especially like based on the old calendar and all that, please go. Like, we're going to do a lot of football, and it's going to kind of start earlier than normal. Okay? So if you plan a vacation, please go. If wink, wink, nudge, nudge, if you could be back by July 6th, and hopefully we're in phase 3 and we could do the mini camp, that's going to be really the first great opportunity for your son to compete with other kids on, like, in a spring football type format, a controlled scrimmage type format. So that would be great, for all of us to be back by then. And then, of course, we're going to NAU July 11th, provided all the levels pass like we think they will. But other than that, if you plan a vacation, please go, and please spend time with your family, because once we get rolling, it's going to be a lot of football for a long time. So I want you guys to have healthy families going into this.
For the physical rollover concept, does that apply just to the incoming freshmen or to all levels?
Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, physicals applies to everybody.
Now we got a question for you. What is the criteria for moving from phase 1 to phase 2 to phase 3, etc.?
It all depends on the state of the union in Arizona, I guess to say. So we'll go out on a little bit of a limb here, but if Arizona continues on the trend that we're on, then the proposed plan is that we get into level 2 after 14 days. But if the governor says something different, or if Arizona spikes, or if the district says we're not quite ready, then it could take longer. So,
Two things. Brandon just said the district's going to monitor data and info from the governor, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yep.
And then question, is the NAU July 11th for incoming freshmen too?
no, the NAU 7-on-7 and big man tournament is only for varsity.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you guys for your questions. Again, if you have any other questions you forgot to type in, I believe my phone number is on the website and/or my email, so you can contact me. Really, if it's any football related, like schedule questions, please contact me. These wonderful booster members do a great job around the booster club, but they don't necessarily run practice, so please contact me. If you have booster club questions, and if you would love to get involved, please contact one of them. We have a question.
Couple questions. How do we purchase practice clothes for freshmen?
They will be available June 8th. So when you show up, they'll be available for purchase.
Okay. When is camp money due?
For which one?
Isn't it June 18th?
So for let's just go through the dates here. June 18th is when we would like to have all of the varsity and JV camp money due. That way we know how many buses to order. Freshmen, we'll say July 6th, somewhere around there, July 6th through the 8th. That way, because I'm gonna be gone, obviously at the varsity camp, so we won't be able to collect it by then. So if we could have it all in roughly July 6th through the 8th, that would be great.
Are you posting these slides?
Yes.
Okay. Utah trip, is it still a go?
Okay, so I just contacted the Utah coach like 2 days ago, and he said they are planning on hosting us moving forward. So they're planning on moving forward, hosting us, having a game on August 28th. So yes, as of right now, we are go.
Do you want to say anything about Utah money?
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm gonna just answer your question. So yes,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Well, you got another question before you go. How much are the practice clothes for freshmen?
Good question. I believe they're $20 for a shirt and shorts. So yeah,
Total?
yeah, $10 for a shirt. They're not as nice. They're not Under Armour. They gotta earn the Under Armour. So anyway, yes.
Do we know what night's homecoming, Amari Cooper senior night?
Okay, so based on the schedule we've been given, and I don't think there's gonna be any changes. Homecoming is the week of Sandra Day O'Connor, which I can't remember what the date is on that, but it's the Sandra Day O'Connor home game. Senior night is versus Chandler, and that's the third week in October.
We'll post it.
We'll post all that information on the
Yeah.
on the booster site.
Is it?
No other questions so far.
Okay. Just real quick, I think Liz has some final comments on the Utah trip.
Yep.
Do you have anything about Utah trip?
So first, I kind of freeze whenever I get in front of cameras. So I want to thank Lisa Whitmore for being our secretary. She's been amazing. I don't have to ask her. She just reads my mind, and she's always just willing to do anything for us. And she's gonna be missed. We would have like 4-hour meetings, and she would never complain, and she'd always give great responses and had awesome ideas for our team. So thank you, Lisa, so much, and she will be missed. Is there anybody that wanted to be nominated,
We
or?
received no further nominations, and the majority of the votes were yeses. All the votes were yeses, so the vote carries. Congratulations.
Okay. So for Utah, the Utah money was due. There was some glitch with emails, so I apologize for anyone that was emailing the presidents at hawkbooster.com. It's figured out, and I'm going to be going through those tonight, so I apologize if you have not received a response from me. If you paid with tax credit and did not forward the tax receipt to me, please do that so that I can make sure that we get that from the school. Yeah.
Two things. One, Jeff Boone just let me know that the full schedule is posted on boosters already, so everything should be there.
Oh, yes. It's on the home page. If you scroll down underneath how many waters and whatnot have been used, it's all there with senior night and homecoming.
And then two, are we still ordering equipment bags by tomorrow?
Yes, so if you want your son, if you've already paid your full amount for the Utah trip, your son is getting a bag. It's included in that price. If you are not going to Utah, or if you are a JV and you want the equipment bag, it's an extra large Under Armour bag, and it's going to have your son's last name embroidered in it and the Hawk logo. We can do team numbers if you want your number on it. My son changed his number from JV to varsity, so if you don't want to do a team number, that's totally fine. That's optional to you. But if JV wants it, it needs to be $75 to the Venmo at hhsfootball.com, hhsfootball, and just put in your last name.
Freshmen able to get bags?
Sure. Why not? So, but it is by tomorrow. I have to place the order June 1st. I can't go any later than that for us to get them for camps. So.
Can I still pay for Utah?
Yes. And the office will have summer hours, and I believe they're open on Monday. So if you actually want to go into the office and use tax credit, you can still do that as well.
You can also do it on the Hawks Highland High School's website, and it walks you through it. It's pretty easy. Just make sure that you do it to football.
Or you can pay it directly to.
Or you can pay it directly
if you don't want the tax credit.
to the Venmo account. So if you already paid your $75, there's 15 people that have paid their $75 non-refundable fee that haven't finished paying. So if you've already paid your $75 non-refundable, then you owe another $520. If you haven't paid anything, then it's $595, and that is for airfare, food, hotel, bag. We're going to Seven Peaks. It's for gas for the buses that while we're there, and snacks for the boys while we're there. It covers everything.
Karen, we will get your email added. Question is freshman football going to need field support?
What does that mean?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. We have plenty of freshman coaches. What I would say is, I believe on the hawksbooster.com there is a page that says you can volunteer for stuff.
Yes.
So please go to one of those and check out what you'd like to volunteer for, because we would love to have you volunteer and help out with anything that you can.
Also, incoming freshmen, go to hawksbooster.com, and there's I'm just going to go to it. Okay, just ignore.
We're going to pull it up so you can see it. Go ahead and ask the next question while Liz pulls this up.
Okay. What trips are available for JV?
What trip? They are going to California with us in July. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Utah trip is varsity only. JV and freshmen will be playing a different team during that week. So the lower level schedules are not set yet, but we're working on playing a local team during week 2 when we're playing Lone Peak, so that week 10 JV and freshman kids will be done for the last game of the year and have the possibility we might pull some of them up for the playoffs and stuff. So.
Okay, so.
Liz, hold on.
Okay.
If you paid for the Lone Peak game, are the name and number going to be on the bag? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless you don't want the number, let me know.
Okay. I downloaded and check the Remind app all the time and don't ever see any updates. Are you still going to use this app to get info out to parents?
So, yes. I forgot the login password.
We'll work on it and get it out to you.
It'll be working before the season actually starts.
But for now, have your son log into Huddle and Google Classroom, because I always communicate with your player. So in terms of like practice times and things like that, your son has access to Huddle, I promise. So check those too.
Are varsity players allowed to travel up with parents to Utah?
No. Liability wise, we just all need to travel together, both there and back. So I know some of you wanted to be able to do that, but just liability wise, traveling out of the state, this needs to be, we all fly on the same flight, we all stay in the same hotel, and we all fly home together. So sorry if some of you were hoping to stay a little bit longer, a little bit later. I will say this, this is I don't know if business trip is the right term, because we are going to go to a water park and we'll have a little bit of fun, but we're going to go play Lone Peak, who was number 38 according to Max Preps last year, and then we got to come right back and play Pinnacle, who was an open division playoff team. So this is not vacation, it's an away game.
If you paid using tax credit on the school website, do you still need to provide a receipt?
Yes. Just email a copy of the confirmation and we'll Take care.
Is the built tax credit different from the GPS tax credit, and can I do both?
Yes, it is, and yes, you can do both.
Don't email that receipt to me. I don't want that one.
Anyway, yes, Built is a what's called a qualified charitable organization tax credit, and the GPS is a public school tax credit. You can do both, and they are different.
And the built is for,
Built is for camp.
okay.
Yeah,
And then there's a request to add AJ Herrera to Huddle again.
I thought I did, but okay. Okay. AJ, email me with the email that you want me to add you, and I'll make sure you're on there. Or show up on Monday, and we'll fix it.
Okay, Liz, do you want to show them now?
Okay, so this is our website, hawksbooster.com. You can click here for updates.
So if you scroll down to the bottom, it says click here for
Oh yeah,
updates.
oh, I'm sorry. Let's just go to the home page.
I click the Hawkhead.
I know, I'm actually logged in to edit it.
Uh,
Okay, so at the very bottom, here's our schedule. So homecoming it has 1 star. So here's homecoming, 9:25, and then senior night is 10:23. So, and Jeff is awesome. He made it to where you just click on map and it'll show you how to get to each school. So, you click on here for updates, and tonight there'll be one for everything that happened tonight, and you just click it and it will tell you everything that we covered. So if you don't get the emails, come here. Also, if you don't get the emails and you want to get the emails, you come over here where it says board and committees and you go down to communications. There's cute Lisa. And you fill out your player's information. So every year you have to go in and change this. So parents that were freshmen this year, if you're on JV next year, at the bottom of the emails, it says update. Go there and update it so that you can start getting the JV emails when we start splitting them up. But incoming freshmen, if you want an email, you go in here and you fill it all out of for your family, and then you just submit it, and then you'll start getting the emails.
and then same for if you were on JV last year, make sure you update to
To
varsity.
varsity.
So you get the varsity emails, because the varsity will be sending out once games and the season starts. It will be a different information than the JV and the freshman.
And then for
Show them where
And
to
while she's
volunteer.
trying to find it, if some of you have siblings, so one plays on JV and one plays on varsity, I would sign up for both.
sign up, there's like I think it's 3 spots.
Or
Show 'em
varsity
the
and freshman, same
Show 'em
thing.
what?
Volunteer.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
I
going
did
to tax credits first.
both. Perfect.
So on our homepage is tax credits. You click it. So here is where you can find the Built Foundation, and you just click it and it'll take you right there. So if you
So
need help,
this is to watch the YouTube video that explains it, if I didn't do a good enough job explaining it and you wanna better understand it. And then right here, it says donate to Built Foundation. That'll actually take you to the Built Foundation website, and you can go from there. It's really straightforward and really simple. But yeah.
also incoming freshmen, we are looking for sponsors. So if you own a company and want to sponsor, you go to donate sponsor, and you can either become a family member, which is awesome. So you donate a certain amount, and you can get T-shirts, seats, and all the money helps the Booster Club. And when we break it all down, it comes to about $1,000 a boy to donate. It's not required. It's just what's asked to do the Gatorades and meals and all the extra fun stuff that we do for them, the improved equipment for the boys and for the coaches and things like that. So you can go here, so family members. So there's one for family members, and it tells you how to become a member, and there's monthly payments. So if you wanted to do one, you can break it down into 5 monthly payments right now. In July, it is gonna switch to 3 monthly payments so that we're not getting money in December because we need it now. For a corporate sponsor, if you own your company and you want a banner out on the field or on the sideline and the name shouted out, this is your spot. So donate sponsor, a corporate, and then there's all these options, and you click the button right here to choose yours. So volunteering, if you want to volunteer, you come down here and you put your name and email and what you'd want to volunteer for.
So here, click the drop.
Select committee.
So this is just some of the things that we would give you an opportunity to volunteer for. Okay, that's not all of them, but that's a good list to start with, and we would love to get you guys to volunteer. Hint, hint, sign up for the concessions early so you get the games that aren't as hot. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because we would ask that you would volunteer for at least one game. Okay.
Are freshmen on huddle?
We will get them on there starting June 8th. Yeah, so on June 8th, we'll get an email from your son, and that'll be his login, and then we'll go from there.
What's your 2 favorite colors?
Teal and black. That's an easy one.
I'm out of questions.
All right, great. Okay, thank you guys so much. Appreciate your time. Appreciate all the questions. They're great questions. Looking forward to finally seeing your son's faces starting June 1st and for freshmen June 8th. All right. Good night, guys.